Okay, let's do this. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. This one's a bit lower energy because I'm not feeling the best right now. Because it's hot. It is extremely hot today. Um, but today is the Q&A questions to be answered. The deadline ended today. And so I'm going to answer the questions now, and this video will probably be up in the next day. So let's jump right into it. So first question is from Slenderdude, who asks, "What made me start YouTube?" So there were a few things. Uh, clearly I have a lot of interest in certain YouTubers, such as Minx. But I really resonated with gaming channels because I myself am a really big gamer. So I've always, I mean, there's always the part of you, like, no matter your reason for starting YouTube, there's always that part where you like, I kind of want to be famous, and like do things that I love doing, and making the content that I like making, and then people liking the content I make and such, which is definitely a part of it. But more so than that, I just sort of like, I just wanted to share my opinions on games that I love, play games that I love, and just experience them and let other people experience them, such as non-super mainstream games such as Danganronpa. Um, so that was my main reason for YouTube, but like I said, I'm pretty sure every YouTuber, or at least a good majority of them, are all about like there's that little spark in the back of your mind that's like, I kind of want to be famous. And so that's a thing. So the next question is from Skylark, uh, also on Discord, and he's asking what's my real name, if you don't mind me asking. And I kind of do mind you asking. I don't like to give out my real name unless there's like a specific reason that I need to. But I definitely resonate with Tatsu, and I'm going to stick with Tatsu, as that's as real it's gonna get. So have fun with that. The next question is from Ebony, uh, one of my favorite recent people. He joined us recently as when I started streaming, and has since been really a really big part of the group. So pretty cool to talk to her. Anyway, she says, "What is currently your favorite video game, both single player and multiplayer?" So currently my favorite single player game would probably have to be Final Fantasy 13. Before people go and get into an uproar about it being 13, that's my favorite currently. I see no reason why people hate it. Like, I get it, it's not open world. I get that it's not open world, but is that really a reason to hate it? Like, you still get to explore amazing scenery, different areas. There's a great story from what I'm seeing. And, you know, the characters are just as good. So, like, I don't really see why people hate on 13 so much. So that's my favorite single-player game currently. My favorite multiplayer is obviously Overwatch. Overwatch is something I'm pretty heavily into. And just, you know, it's pretty cool. There was a recent update, which should be going live either before or after this, I don't know. Which added a bunch of new stuff, which I've been having fun with. I know Matt Blizzard World. That's pretty cool. But that was for currently. All-time favorites would probably have to be for single-player Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, sorry. Brain dead. Just because I have the most childhood memories with those, and just really cool. And my not current favorite multiplayer game would probably have to be a tie between Gmod and Minecraft. I met a lot of amazing people through both of those games, and it's just been something I can really get into, make new friends and stuff. Although, I really do want to start getting back into my single-player roots a bit more than I have recently. But, yeah, so those would be my all-time as well. Little bonus to your question. The next question is from Kazu. If you could fuse with anyone from the Steven Universe, gems and half gems only, who would you fuse with? So that's kind of hard. I like so many Steven Universe characters. So I mean, I'd fuse with a bunch of different. I'd like to fuse with both Peridot and Lapis, just because I like how contrasted. Contrasted, is that the right word? I believe it is. How different their personalities are. And I'd just like to see myself incorporated in that. But also a little bit of Amethyst, because Amethyst is cool. As we all know. Next question is from Coopa. What are some of your earliest gaming experiences? First game, console, etc. First game experience that I can remember is my father playing Banjo-Kazooie, probably because I forced him a lot. Forced him to play through those Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie games quite often, to the point where he completed Banjo-Kazooie and almost completed Banjo-Tooie, but then gave up fighting the final boss. So those are like the earliest memories that I have. My first console was also the Nintendo 64. Apparently I would try to play along a lot of the time, which is kind of embarrassing to speak about. But I mean, like, I was a baby. It's not too embarrassing. But those are like my earliest memories of things. So yeah. It's a very quick question. Next question! From TSMT over on YouTube. The only one to comment on YouTube. It's sad, considering I have over 300 subscribers, but you know. It's okay. So, they say going to fill the limit of 3 questions. What channels inspired you to make this channel? Well, I spoke about it in the first question, I believe. Yes? Yes. Splendid, yes. I was really into a lot of gaming channels. I started out liking PewDiePie, but slowly drifted away from him just because his content stopped being gaming focused and more like was a variety of things, which I wasn't into at the time. But then I moved on to like Minx and Nanas and Max, all different gaming channels, and just seeing what all of those people do. They create this content for people to enjoy. Most of them do it because they love making content like this, and like they're not necessarily like forcing themselves to be someone they're not, and it just really inspired me to want to make something and just showcase my experiences, give my opinions, and all that sort of stuff. With, like I said earlier, that little spark in the back of your mind, like, I want to be famous. So that's kind of like who inspired me, Minx, Nanas, Gassy Mexican, those sort of people. The next question is, how is it like to record / work with Minx? I tried going through this in my head a couple of times with a lot of the different questions that I've got, just to come up with a very satisfactory answer. And, I mean, whenever it came to Minx, like, I would come up with something, but, like, it didn't feel right saying it that way. Like, I didn't really... I mean, I got the opportunity to work with her, for a few videos. But that was all through Kitteh, probably somewhere on stream, channel or something. I don't know. But Kitteh is the one who basically donated and brought me and Coopa along a lot of the times. So, I mean, it's all thanks to her. But from working with Minx, she's almost exactly like she is on YouTube. She doesn't like fake a personality. Although, I will say that when she's not recording, she seems a lot more calm. So the personality she puts on is her own, but like maybe a bit more extravagant a little. But that's just what I felt from being in calls with her and recording with her. But it was honestly really amazing. Minx is someone I've looked up to for quite some time because she's not afraid to speak her mind. And she's not afraid of being demonetized by YouTube. Well, she probably is, but like she'll do it regardless because that's the kind of content she wants to create. She won't let herself be suppressed. And that's really inspiring and what's made me love her even more than I already do. And just getting to work alongside with someone that you've respected for so long, thinking you'll never meet them, is just one of the most incredible things that you can feel. And I was just, I owe a lot to Kitteh for making that a possibility. And the next, and one of the final questions, there's 2 questions left. This one is also from TSMT. What are your goals for YouTube and in general for 2018? So my goals for YouTube is probably to have a tiny bit more of a schedule. If you go through my videos, a lot of the upload times became really out there. Like, there was a massive gap in between some of them, and like all of this stuff. And that is very much due to my lack of motivation in doing it. Like, I can record gameplay and stuff all I want, but the editing is really boring. Not to say I'm not happy to put it out there and edit when I can. It's just I have a very big problem with getting motivated, and so I don't typically force myself. I don't have a very good work ethic, which I do want to change. I want to change my work ethic. I want to start getting my video uploads on a bit more of a schedule, like starting off small, because we don't want to just like jump head first into it all. We want to dip our little toes in there first to check the water. I want to try and upload like 2 times a month at the very least. If I go over that, then perfect. If I go under that, I'm going to be disappointed in myself. But 2 videos a month would be a good goal for me to start at, in my opinion. Just because it doesn't force me to constantly be editing or constantly be recording, and I can just take my time with it. And then slowly over time, I wish to try and increase that number to like maybe 1 a week. I don't think I'll ever hit the like 1 a day or 2 a day sort of thing like most YouTubers do that have made it pretty big, like Markiplier and such. Just because I'm not someone who's like, oh, one day I'll make it big and then I'll hire like an editor and stuff and like get a whole team around me. I don't plan for that. I plan to like always be like a solo content creator. But who knows where life will go, you know? But I do want to try and like get that schedule going. And goals for 2018: be more active, die a lot less in the heat, which is failing so hard already. But like I also want to stream a bit more. I want to get a better PC to stream and record better games, bigger games. And just generally have a lot more fun creating content in general. But yeah, I think that's it. Last question is a bit more sensitive. It comes from RPG, and it's relating to Dippy. Trying to find bunch of DMs. DMs me. Okay, so his question was a bit sensitive relating to Dippy. Very brief history for those of you who don't know. Things happened between Dippy and I, and we are no longer friends at the present moment. And his question is, will me and Dippy ever become friends again in the future? And, I mean, it's complicated. Relationships are a very complicated thing to grasp. I have trouble with a lot of different aspects of it, which I try my best not to, but it becomes inevitable at some point that I will slip up and screw everything up. So, like, I don't really know if we'll ever be friends again. I would say that I'm open to it, but that's not entirely true. I considered her one of my best friends. She was so close to being just like a family member, and with everything that happened, it makes it kind of hard to trust again in that sort of sense. So I would like to be her friend again, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to put myself in that position. Hurt even more than I already am. The past year and a half has been really hard on me in terms of making and keeping friends. I'm not a very vocal person unless you get to know me. and I'm not someone who will openly interact with people willingly that I don't know. So making friends is a very big deal for me. When I do, I try to treasure them as much as I can. And a lot of the times when I do things, say stuff, sometimes it can be perceived the wrong way. And then that ends up screwing everything up. So the past year and a half, making all these friends, meeting all these amazing people, it just makes me feel like if I was just a better person, maybe they would still stick around me and stuff. But I can't really speak on behalf of Dippy in this situation. I don't know if she wants to be my friend anymore. I highly doubt it. But who knows? Maybe she'll try reaching out to me. Maybe she won't. I can't really say for sure. Anyway, that was a very depressing final question, but I decided to leave it to last because, I mean, if we were hitting that hard, that quick, I don't feel like this would be a good video. So with all those questions answered, it was a few questions. I tried to make it as long a video as possible, which I think I did okay at. So, I mean, I hope those questions were satisfactory. I hope I gave answers that were to people's liking or to their expectations. And I hope that shed some more light on who I am as a person, because I know I don't talk about that very much. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this Q&A. I hope you got what you wanted, and I hope I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!
Think you can keep up with me? I'm the fool with the MVP. Lights, camera, scoreboard. Time to show my skills. Come on, team, get some kills. Yeah, you could be a phone like me. Up, up, down, down, left, right, GG. I'm out. Yeah.